Eric Jennings, the referee, with his two linesmen, with the news from Hampden Park that the full-time score now in the Scottish Cup final, Aberdeen 3, Celtic 1. So Aberdeen winners of the Scottish Cup, and that really is a shock both north and south of the border, I would think. And there's Peter Bonetti having a word with Les Cocker. I think Les Cocker might well be saying to him, for goodness sake, give us a chance there, Peter. They'll both be going to Mexico, of course. Les Cocker is an England trainer. Peter Bonetti is one of the England 28. What a magnificent game Bonetti has had, and in spite of that, I would still go for Eddie Gray so far as my man of the match. So Chelsea, in fact, to kick the way they were kicking in that second half.
For Chelsea, ladies and gentlemen, the substitute Hinton replaces number 6 Harris.
15 minutes each way. A test of muscle and nerve from now on. Giles for Leeds United. To Paul Madeley. McCready hustling Jones off the ball. And a free kick given to Leeds United. McCready getting back into a defensive position. And it'll be Bremner to plant another high one into that Chelsea penalty area, where Jack Charlton, of course, is waiting. Osgood right back, Dempsey putting it away, but Baldwin getting it away only at the second go. Gray. The throw, in fact, given to Leeds, which the crowd around there didn't like too much. Gray. A long one in the middle there, Dempsey to get it away. And now to Baldwin. A too casual flick, but he got away with it. Hutchinson to Baldwin again. The linesman keeping his flag down. Chelsea don't like it, but Cooper's not concerned, he's prepared to go on. And now Gray. Past Webb for, I'm afraid, the umpteenth time, you Chelsea fans. But Webb, perhaps in determination, or rather desperation, giving away that free kick. Cooper. And now Houseman back to Bonetti. Johnny Hollins. Cook has made a great burst through the middle and he's gone unnoticed, and here is Cook. But he couldn't quite play it for Baldwin, and Madeley takes it up for Leeds United. To Bremner, driving forward to Lorimer. Here's Jones, and with him Dempsey. And a goal kick. Alan Clark. And a view from behind Peter Bonetti from our camera at ground level as he takes this goal kick for Chelsea. Down goes Hollins. And Giles is the man who is getting the lecture. And certainly, here's Bremner, but certainly Chelsea could ill afford to lose this man. Doubly so because Hollins is such a driving force in midfield for them. And secondly, of course, they've already got their substitute on, Marvin Hinton. Very much as though the boot must have been fairly high up on Hollins' thigh. Jack Charlton hasn't missed much in the air tonight, this afternoon either. I say tonight, but the way this game is dragging on, it looks as though it's going to go into the night as well. And I'm quite sure there'll be 100,000 people here sticking to watch it. Johnny Hollins all right again. And John Dempsey to take the kick. Webb's gone well forward. Hutchinson prepared to go for it. Handball, say Chelsea. And handball, says the referee. And a free kick to Chelsea. It'll be Hollins to take it. Dempsey is right up. Webb has stayed up. Osgood and Hutchinson are waiting as well. And Dempsey going in, but big Jack Charlton getting above the lot of them. Houseman to McCready. Good cross there by McCready. And now Dempsey just over! What a lovely little flick back though by Hutchinson for Dempsey, and he took it well, and Sprague took it even better. So a corner then for Chelsea. And Peter Houseman to take it. And Chelsea at last putting Leeds under pressure. Dempsey right there, Osgood right there. Hutchinson trying to force it home, and Lorimer happy to kick it to safety. Madeley. Only Jones is up with him. And now Clark. This is coming to the tormenting Gray. Hinton trying to force him on the outside, and Houseman. But he got it back well. Giles all over the bar by Webb. What a saviour for Chelsea David Webb was there. What a terrible afternoon he's had against Eddie Gray. But Webb really did everything for Chelsea in that moment. Corner then to Leeds. And Jack Charlton there again. Here comes the corner. Bonetti under pressure, but getting it above Charlton's head. Confrontation, Bonetti and Clark. Hunter. The linesman's flag up for Clark offside. And Hollins, who has a powerful free kick, to drive another one hard and forward towards Hutchinson. Baldwin beating Gray to it. Now Webb. Osgood. A little flick for Hollins. Hutchinson in there again in the thick of it. Getting up to flick it on, but Houseman I don't think can quite get to it. And Charlton, as cool as you like, with Sprague. All made it. Norman Hunter. So often we've seen him venturing very much further than the halfway line, but here he goes again, Hunter, to Lorimer. Clark at the far side, and he beat Hinton to it. Of course, it's going to be difficult for Marvin Hinton to come into an extra time period like this. Here's Clark to get into the rhythm of this game. It's always so difficult for a substitute, but it must be even more difficult in a cup final. Osgood to Cook. Baldwin will have to chase it, and Cooper's there in fairly close attendance. Baldwin against Cooper. And Cooper, with help from Gray, getting it away for Leeds United to Giles. Gray again to Clark, and now Giles. A long one. And well kept in by Lorimer. No, he didn't keep it in because the linesman had his flag up. And so the throw goes to Chelsea.
Beautiful pass there by Giles. It's lovely to see the way he works the middle of the field. He picks up as many missed passes from the other side almost as he gets from his own side. He's continually lurking there, reading the play and waiting to pick up the ball and then make that kind of devastating pass.
Osgood. And Bremner to Jack Charlton. Charlton having a tussle there with Houseman. And Leeds getting the free kick. So it's Bremner. Madeley. Bremner to Lorimer. Clark. He slipped it forward hoping that Lorimer was going on, but Lorimer wasn't, and McCready in fact runs towards that one and then starts limping very badly. Seems to be moving quite smoothly again there, but he really jolted to a halt. I should think little twinges of cramp will affect these players from now on. Bremner losing out on that one. Hutchinson. In fact, Hutchinson being pulled back by Bremner. And McCready with the free kick. Hutchinson trying to get underneath it. And now Baldwin is there as well. But Leeds covering with Jack Charlton, finding Giles and now Bremner. And now Lorimer. Another player down in the, I think it's Norman Hunter, with a touch of cramp. Gary Sprake administering what help he can. Eddie Gray. Gray now inside for Cooper. Long one there towards Lorimer. Oh, good play there by Lorimer, and Clark was a little slow to go for it, so Baldwin is going instead. And now Bremner to Cooper with a shot, and Bonetti body behind it all the way, and eyes on that ball from Cooper. Lorimer now feeling a twinge. He's down in that Chelsea penalty area. Leeds, in fact, in this extra time period, may just be suffering a little more, it seems. Is this an impression you've got, Jimmy?
Yes, I think it's inevitable that they will, because you can't discount the matches that they've played this season, and apart from the rest they've had over the last few days, that backlog of matches and desperately tight matches, difficult matches, which you only have to play if you're champions and in championships all the while, is still going to affect them. It's a pity,
Giles
really,
Hollins.
in the excitement of extra time that one does get cramped, but I don't think you can have both things. I think it's at Wembley, when you do go over the 90 minutes, then you're bound to have stoppages while the players just react to this kind of muscle trouble that afflicts everybody. Word about Peter Osgood, it seemed there particularly just as if he wasn't trying, but sometimes as a footballer, the very day you want to produce your best, you just feel listless and can't do it, whatever you try and do to yourself.
Now it's Bremner then for Leeds United. A high one, and Gray is waiting at the far side. Bonetti has missed it, and Webb getting his foot behind it, but in fact Bonetti was pushed as he jumped for that one. And so Chelsea get the free kick. Dempsey. Webb to Osgood. Hutchinson nicely for Cook. Faced by Jack Charlton, and Bremner supporting him. Osgood, but the linesman's flag is up. Gary Sprake with the kick. Clark. With Jones up with him. And Gray. Still Gray. And that cannoned off Marvin Hinton, but Bonetti is there for Chelsea. Wembley, of course, which has always been such a punishing pitch. Oh, Webb missing that badly. And now Giles, Webb trying to correct it. And now it's Jones. And Dempsey getting it away, but now Clark to Gray. Lorimer at the far side, heading it back in. Clark! Oh, against the crossbar! That's twice they've had it against the crossbar. Bremner. Lorimer again. Been curling some good ones across, but McCready getting there first this time. And McCready down injured. As I was saying, Wembley always such a punishing pitch, even when it had that immaculate turf, but now with all this sand on it, making it so much more difficult for the players, particularly when you come into an extra time period. And it really has been non-stop for close on 2 hours now. Getting towards the end of this first period of extra time. In fact, the time is up for the end of this first period. But of course there have been these stoppages for cramp, which are inevitable, and time must be added on for them. Well, Leeds really have had none of the luck. Their supporters now getting behind them once more as they set up another corner by Eddie Gray. Under that crossbar, Bonetti with his fists, Madeley with his head. We haven't seen Paul Madeley coming forward too often. And there goes the whistle for the end of the first period of extra time. They'll need to turn around fairly quickly. Managers are not normally allowed to come on between the halves in extra time. There's the situation, Chelsea 2, Leeds 2. It will be a brave man who would predict a final score, although remember our computer predicted 3-2 to Leeds United. Leeds just grabbing a quick breather. As I was saying, they just look a little the worse for wear, I think, in this first period of extra time. Ian Hutchinson having gone across for a word from Harry Medhurst. Well, Viscount Lindley and Lord Snowden, they must be enjoying this. Viscount Lindley, we've seen his picture often enough in newspapers playing football for his Cubs, and I would think he's probably as excited by this match as any youngster sitting around any television set anywhere. Now it's Hollins as we start the second period of extra time, 15 minutes to go. Madeley, Bremner, Lorimer, and Marvin Hinton to cover this one for Chelsea. A little slow to get that one away though, and it's Lorimer. Tackled from behind unfairly by this chap, Peter Houseman. Free kick then to Leeds. Lorimer with the kick towards Mick Jones. Webb getting there first. Cooper following it in. And now Osgood, Bremner. Hunter. Aim towards Lorimer. McCready coming towards him. Clark there. And Dempsey again getting in well for Chelsea. McCready away to Hutchinson. Osgood wanting a long one through the middle. Cook taking it up, going past Jack Charlton with Houseman outside him. A promising looking situation this for Chelsea. To Houseman now. The little chip from Houseman. Osgood going in at far side, just past. Where Chelsea are so devastating with those little chips from Houseman, and he varies them so well. Sometimes those ones to the near, Osgood now turning the first aid man, sometimes towards that near post, which if a Chelsea man gets there first are unstoppable, and sometimes like that one towards the far post. He varies them well.
I think we must give a little bit of credit there to Cooper for the way in which, although he was in desperate trouble, the way that cross was measured up in the air, he still managed to jump up with Osgood just enough to spoil his accuracy. And he's paid for it by going on the ground with Cramp.
Cooper, of course, one of the men going to Mexico. Another one there on the left, Peter Osgood. So nearly making that header count. Hinton again losing in the air there to Clark. But Charlton getting there first before Baldwin. Having a good physical tussle there with Tommy Baldwin. He's a tough little character, and it's Baldwin with the throw. To Cook. Cook going past Bremner. Now that really is significant. Still Cook. And Charlton smoothly and coolly back to spring. That really must be a sure sign that the Leeds legs are just that shade heavier than Chelsea's by the way Cook went past Bremner. Now Lorimer. But Leeds, my goodness, their heart's in the right place, and they've had none of the luck this afternoon. Hunter to bring it forward once more for them. To Johnny Giles. Still Giles. To Bremner. With one that never really looked like counting. Collins to Houseman. John Hollins with the throw for Chelsea. Not over the line, and Hutchinson finds McCready. Baldwin. And Webb with a fair bit of space on the right. Cross there that looks for Osgood. Can Osgood turn on it? Hunter is there, and something has gone wrong for Chelsea. The whistle had gone. Again to Leeds United. And Giles taking it quickly, finding Gray. To Lorimer. And now to Madeley. McCready coming desperately across to cover, but Madeley now tearing it across there. Jones trying to leap again, and Bonetti just under that bar. Hutchinson flicked on nicely now for Houseman. Only Baldwin is up. So Houseman holds it and finds Cook. Played for Peter Houseman again. Bremner mustn't let him slip. And a throw to Chelsea. Peter Houseman in a bit of trouble, but off the pitch, Billy Bremner here. Oh, Houseman, who is in trouble off the pitch with cramp, now goes onto the pitch and falls down, and I don't think Eric Jennings will stand for that, making it perfectly clear that he will take the time off. Now Peter Houseman with the free kick for Chelsea. A long and a deep one. Hutchinson's looking for it, but that's Gary Sprake. Eddie Gray. Dempsey to Webb. Osgood. Madeley. And now to Lorimer. Hunter. Still Hunter. With the shot of a tired man.
When you shoot like that, Brian, that's the way you play back, you see, away from the goal. He's obviously wisest to stay there during most of the game.
Hutchinson again getting up so well for these balls, but now it's Lorimer. To Norman Hunter. To Mick Jones. Still Jones. Bremner to support him. Giles trying to play the 1-2, and Cook. That was very cool. But it still hasn't got Chelsea out of trouble because it's Cooper. And Gray going past Webb again. Osgood doing what he can and doing enough to stop Gray but give away the corner. Jack Charlton. There he goes again. And Hutchinson going back with it. That's how it looks from behind the goal. And here comes the corner. A low one, and McCready putting it straight back again. Lorimer to lift it once more, and Hinton. But now Jones with a chance to put it back again. Giles is wide of him, but Jones preferring to put it in again. Jack Charlton stayed up. Webb getting it away. Not very far to Eddie Gray. And now McCready leaving it for Bonetti. Well, since the Cup final came to Wembley in 1923, it's never yet needed a replay. The last replay, in fact, was in 1912. And that was when Barnsley beat West Bromwich Albion. Oh, Osgood too slow, with his hands on his knees and not looking, and Leeds were able to get in. But now Cook for Chelsea again. That's falling nicely for Houseman. And now McCready. Aim towards Hollins. Getting it in. Sprake. And now Cooper. Billy Bremner. Madeley. To Giles. Clark calling for one at the near post, trying to get in before Hinton, and Hinton watched him and went with him. McCready. Baldwin. Charlton in behind him. And a throw to Chelsea. To Peter Houseman. Marvin Hinton. Hollins completely free on the right. And he wants it, but he won't get it. And Bremner really fighting for that ball and winning it. Jack Charlton to Bremner again. Houseman down with more of that cramp. And Clark putting Lorimer away. McCready to watch him. Webb to support him. But still Lorimer. And down goes Bonetti, it's not away yet. Now it is, through McCready. Nearly fooled at the near post there by that one, Peter Bonetti. Cooper. And Cooper again. McCready, but only as far as Giles. Leeds continuing to dominate this cup final, but still 2-2. Clark and Gray, cannoned off Dempsey, Bremner trying to get in and Hutchinson getting it away. Hunter. To Cooper once more. What a player. Challenged by Cook, and it takes two to get it away from Terry Cooper. Cook eventually, though, getting it to Baldwin. Played nice and square for Hollins. Now it's 4 Chelsea men against 3 from Leeds. Hutchinson. Houseman and Baldwin in the middle. That's going towards Baldwin. Hollins calling for it at the back. Houseman. Oh, great save by Sprigg. But in fact the whistle had gone for an infringement. Someone must have been offside there. Houseman still suffering from that cramp with his shin guard in his hand. McCready. Well, he did well to keep it in, but he might well lose it to Lorimer as he tries to pull Lorimer back. And in fact the whistle already gone. The infringement had already been given for a foul on Eddie McCready. His face, as you could see a moment ago there, absolutely, although he's smiling, a fair amount of agony and anxiety showing through as well. That's how it stands with about 3 minutes of extra time to go.
I don't think I've ever seen a pitch or a match or a season take so much toll of the players on the field. It really is. You're looking at them, they're all sagging, and it's the most I've seen in any match, and one wonders whether it's a sort of something happening in World Cup year when we really don't want to replay. We may well have to face one.
Clark to Giles, and Hollins going through to cover Hinton to get it away. Madeley. Norman Hunter. Clark to Gray once more, to lift another one towards that Peter Bonetti, and Bonetti again is equal to it. When you think that Peter Bonetti, a goalkeeper of his class, can't get into the England side because of Gordon Banks, it'll just show you the depth of goalkeeping we've got in this country at the moment. And now it's Osgood. Houseman. Houseman again. Osgood trying to flick it on, and in fact flicking it wide of Hutchinson. Giles to take it up for Leeds. One to Lorimer, with so much room. Billy Bremner. Webb cutting it out before it gets to Giles. Referee looking at his watch. And now Baldwin. But 3 Leeds defenders are back. And a free kick to Chelsea in injury time, in extra time. Could well be the last crisis for Leeds United now, and the last chance possibly for Chelsea to snatch this match. Hollins to take the free kick, and 6 players are up in that Leeds United penalty area, Webb and Dempsey among them, but the ball falling instead to Mick Jones. Watched by Hinton and beaten by Hinton, and Hinton playing it safely back to Bonetti. And there goes the whistle for the end of extra time. And for the first time since 1912, the FA Cup needs a replay. The first time since it came to Wembley, it needs a replay. Man of the match for my money, Eddie Gray, this brilliant number 11 for Leeds United. And not far behind him, of course, Peter Bonetti, superb and courageous in goal for Chelsea. 2-2 it stands. 2-2 it finishes. And the replay, of course, is at Old Trafford on April the 29th.